Welcome. We're going to have one more clip today, and this is about Themis, the goddess of justice in the Greek mythology. So Themis is one of the titans, a titaness, and we have 12 of those. And she's important for two main reasons in the great Greek mythology, at least two. So one of them is that to have the background in the Greek mythology, it starts with chaos, and out of chaos emerges Mother Earth, Gaia. And then she gives birth by herself to the god of the skies, Uranus. So then you have earth and sky, and then they have three sets of kids. The first is three monsters, the Hecatoncheiris, with 100 arms and 50 heads, and they're brutal, strong, and Uranus hates them. So he throws them into the underworld, the Tartarus. And then they get 12 titans, and then they get 3 cyclones. So what happens is that the youngest one of the titans, Kronos, they are not happy with the rule of Uranus, so they wage a war against him and they kick him out of the mountain and down into the underworld. So this is one of those big themes in Greek mythology about replacement, or about the future taking over the present. And then the theme that goes on there is the resistance, because then when Kronos, then as the smallest titan, is in charge of the Mount Olympus and ruling the cosmos, he's terrified that his children will overthrow him, so he eats up every child he gets 5 times. So it's just like an aversion to the future in some sense. And then the 6th time, his wife, the Titaness Rhea, hides the baby, and the baby grows up in the outskirts of Mount Olympus, and that baby is Zeus. So then Zeus goes back up to the mountain, poisons his father, and he fulfills the prophecy that the children will overthrow him again. And then Kronos then barfs up the 5 children. Zeus, with his 5 siblings and 7 of his children, they're then the 12 Olympians, so they overthrow the Titans. And this is the big war between Zeus and his siblings and kids, the Olympians, towards the Titans. And then everyone is engaged in this except Themis. So she's the one of the 12 Titans that's not a part of it. And she is then the goddess of justice. So that's the first part of her. The second one is later in the story of the mythology. Zeus is so unhappy with humankind that he just wipes it all out with a great flood. And the only one to survive is Deucalion and his wife, because they were being warned by Prometheus, father of Deucalion. So they build a boat, and then they just float for 9 days on the great flood that destroys the whole civilization. So after this, Deucalion and his wife are standing all alone on Earth, and they feel very lonely. It's a very unhappy situation, and they keep saying things like, it's hard to live among people, human nature is horrible, human societies are horrible, but being all alone is even worse. So they go to the oracle to ask for help, and then at that time Themis is the one who's sitting and being the oracle. So they ask her, how do we recreate humankind, people on Earth again? And she gives them the solution in this cryptic form of the oracle. So she says to them, leave the temple, and with veiled heads and loose clothes, throw behind you the bones of your mother. And then after some confusion about what it means, they understand that the dead mother is the earth, and then they pick up some stones and throw them behind them. And this is beautifully described in Ovid, the Metamorphosis. The second the stones behind them hits the ground, they transform into new people. And then that's how they recreate the humans again. And that starts the age of the heroes in the Greek mythology, and that's when you get the Iliad and the Odyssey and so many of these great inspiring stories from the Greek mythology. So those 2 instances with Themis is that she steps out of the war between the Titans and the Olympians, and then she also helps Deucalion recreate civilization, and then the age of the heroes. And then you can see Themis like with statues all over the world today as the goddess of justice, and she has 3 things. So the one is like she's blindfolded, the other is she's holding a balance, And the third one is she's holding a sword in the other hand. So this is like justice is equal for all, and then you need to have a balance in justice, and then the sword is the enforcement of it. So that's the main story of the goddess Themis and the Titaness Themis, and hope you enjoyed some of this, and please leave the comments below and follow us, and thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.